So why were you introverted in the first place? Where did that come from?
Why
were you introverted? Why were you not as...
I was raised as Southern Baptist.
Okay, so that's how you...
They taught me to be humble.
Not to be in charge.
You can't play music and be humble.
Yeah. Well...
I mean, I used to use the word cocky. I got it from Mark Twain. Somebody asked Mark Twain what it took to be successful. He said, it's easy. All you have to be is ignorant and cocky, and it's assured. But cocky is not the right word. It's confident.
Yeah.
It's confident that you know what you're doing. And then what happened is after that happened, I went from worrying about them to going in here. And I finally, it finally caught on to me that, you know, I'm playing for myself. And any musician that's a real musician, that's who they're playing for.
Right.
And then once we got the Allman Brothers going, and we got this thing, I mean, we came up with something that nobody had done before. And we knew that. We knew that. So, I mean, you know, our first couple of tours, there was nobody in the audience, so we would just kind of drop a curtain between us and them and play for ourselves. But then, little by little, they started understanding what we were doing. You know, because when we first started, there was a gig I remember in Detroit. We opened for Iggy Pop, you know, and we got up there and played killer show. And maybe 15 people, you know, did this.
They didn't get it.
And then out comes Iggy and starts scratching himself and rubbing peanut butter. And they went bananas. And I went, scratch Detroit, you know. Yeah. So, anyway, little by little. And then finally we put out Fillmore East and all hell broke loose. Yeah. And then once we added that energy from the crowd to what we were doing, it just raised the whole thing. It gave us more. I mean, we had to start it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got these bands up there that are all dressed up in outfits. Dwayne had two great sayings: "This ain't no fashion show, and this ain't no ballet," you know. And yeah, you see these bands up there jumping around, all dressed up with all this stuff, and that's okay, but that's entertainment.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not music.
No, you guys play music.
It's entertainment. They're playing for them.
So are you still?
And if you're playing for them, you're entertaining. You've got to play, music is here, and you play for yourself. And then once they get it, and then they become part of it, then they add their energy, and then that makes us stronger. And then it goes, and you get this cycle going to where you can get strength and, you know, ideas and whatever that you can never do all by yourself.
Sure, yeah. And is that still working?
Oh, that's the reason I'm doing this.
So it's still the crowd and the energy is still flowing.
I mean, Greg is a vocalist, and Greg always hated all those jams. You know, he was always saying, "Why do we have to jam for half an hour?" And we just look at him because we're the Allman Brothers, you know, and that's what we do. Right. And you know, it's fine. I've heard Greg, and what he's doing is really good, but it's not my taste. Yeah. You know, I'm an instrumentalist. Yep. When I listen to music, I listen to jazz, I listen to classical. I'm really not much into singers.
Tell me what you think about Derek and Susan, what they're doing.
Well, it's damn good. It's damn good. Yeah, but
it's different.
But it's different.
Sure.
It's very much different. It's not the improvisational. It's not the. I mean, that first 2.5 years before Dwayne died, we'd get up and play a song, and you never knew where it was going to go. Never. Yeah. I mean, we were all into just you know, play the song, let Greg sing his song, and then we'll start playing the music, you know. And, you know, you get to a point and then you just dive off the cliff and see where you're going to land. And sometimes it would be pardon the pun, a freight train, a train wreck, but more often than not, we'd find ourselves soaring out in places we'd never been before. Yeah. And, you know, and sad to say, you know, when Dwayne died, that kind of stopped.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now what I'm trying to do is find a group of people where we can do that. Mm-hmm. And anybody wants, I mean, you really need to hear this band.
I'm gonna tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's getting better every night. Every night. You have an amazing bunch of people. It's just they're all really good. They're all good players. But, you know, once I started talking to them about, hey, don't be so locked in to what you're doing. You know, if you feel like it, just dive. Let it go. Let the pulse go. Just drift around, float around, and then let it go somewhere else. Who knows where it's going to go?
You ever do that to any band member, like what Dwayne did to you? You ever, you know, say, come on.
I haven't had to.
No? They're doing it on their own?
They get it. Yeah. They get it.
I was lucky enough to be at the last show at the Beacon, November 28th.
Yeah, but see, that was really the problem with that band. It was time for that band to split up. Yeah. Because we had gotten to the point to where every damn time we played like Mountain Jam, every time we played it, it was exactly the same arrangement as Eat a Peach. And I kept talking to Warren and Derek and say, hey man, let's go, let's do something. I mean, go somewhere, let it go. Yeah. So Warren's response to that was, he took a Led Zeppelin song and stuck it in the middle, you know? Yeah. So instead of improvising, we had another structured song in the middle of a structured jam,
you know? Back to the same thing in the end.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, there's no doubt that band, we were playing at really high level, but we were playing too much the same thing night after night after night after night. It was time to take a break.
Yeah. How emotional was that last night for you?
It was emotional, very emotional. Yeah. And that was one night where I was not going to do anything but jam. And I mean, I gave it everything I had.
So that must have been an emotional night for you and everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a freaking show that was that night.
It was a good night.
Yeah.
We did, with that band, we ended on a very, very high note. We did. Yeah, we did. But, you know, now everybody's out doing what they want to do, and now I'm I'm trying to fill that void that we left, you know, mm-hmm. and take it even further, you know, go back to that approach that we had 69 through 71, you know, where, you know, it's free, you know. Yeah. We were very lucky, you know, because we had J-Mo in the band. And J-Mo turned us on to Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Chick Corea and Herbie Hancock and Charlie Parker and people like that. And once we got into that, I mean, because where we were when we started was right where Cream left off. Cream opened the door for, you know, for jamming. Mm-hmm. But it was strictly one chord, you know, one time signature, and pretty much the same dynamic.
Right.
I mean, not to say, because what they did was absolutely new and original. Right. And it was a step that you need to take if you're going to progress.
They were the Allman Brothers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We took where they left off, and then once we started listening to the Train and Miles and all these people, we went, my God, we can do this. So we made we talked about it, and we did not listen to any of our peers. When we were listening to music, it was one of them or Robert Johnson or Muddy Waters. You know, it's either the old blues or the cutting edge jazz cats.
Right.
That's all we listened to. And we took that old blues and combined it with that cutting edge jazz and came up with what we did. And you know, I don't want to sound too arrogant or anything, but there's no doubt we came up with a whole new way of playing music.
Yeah, there's no doubt, yeah.
And you know, and I think one of the most incredible moments of my life, I got to be very good friends with Lenny White. I'm having trouble with N's today. I don't know why. Whatever. But he was at the Beacon, and we were jamming. And after the jam, and Chick Corea was there too. And we were up in my dressing room talking, and I asked them, I said, where'd y'all come up with this fusion stuff? And they looked at me like I was crazy, and I said, from you guys. I went, what? They said, yeah, we were playing jazz in these little clubs, not making anything, and you guys are selling out Madison Square Garden 5 nights in a row? I mean, come on, you know? So we decided that we would take where we were playing jazz and move in a rock and roll direction, where we went rock and roll toward the jazz direction. So, I mean, you talk about a very proud moment when those two cats told me that we were influential in creating fusion.
Sure.
And then, you know, I'm not as proud of this, but after Dwayne died, then Dickie took over, and we got very country.
Yeah.
And I dare you to find a country artist out there that you don't hear some Allman Brothers in.
Yeah.
You know, so the influence has really spread, and it's something I'm really proud of.
Yeah, and I think you should be, Butch. I mean, yeah, you've been at it for so long. You've influenced so many artists and so many people who love music. You know.
Yeah. But now back to your question. That's why I started this band, because nobody's doing it.
Okay.
Because all the other guys in the Allman Brothers are doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And their approach is totally different than what we did. And I think this is a problem. My mouth is dry.
Yeah.
So my mouth gets dry. I can't say ends.
Well, yeah, like Tedeschi Trucks, they're doing very arranged, very orchestrated, they're very precise songs. Warren is doing, you know, his thing. Greg is doing. And
Greg is doing Greg from day one. In fact, when Greg showed up with Whipping Post, it was a slow ballad, and Oakley came up with dum 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 dum. Now here's a very funny story. There is he was playing that lick, and we were all set up in my house, and J-Mo was on the drums, and he was trying to play it with Barry, but it wasn't coming out.
Right.
And of the original 6, I'm the only one that had technical training. I cut my teeth on classical. In fact, I was the student conductor for the Florida All-State High School Symphony Orchestra, and I got to do Dvorak's New World Symphony.
Wow.
One of the great nights of my life.
I had no idea.
I mean, you need to be in the 12th grade in front of an orchestra going do 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 do. I mean, Jesus, power, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was standing there, and I knew what Barry was doing. He was playing 11. Dun da 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 da. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. So I just looked at J-Mo. I said, J-Mo, 3 threes and a 2. So he started playing it, and Oakley goes, damn, it's jazz. So, you know, that was the beginning of what became Whipping Post.
Yeah.
And Greg went back and packed up his bags and was heading back to L.A. He said, I'm not going to have you guys messing my songs up like this. And it was that way the whole, and Dwayne just sat him down the corner and you sit down and shut up, you know. and you know, it was always, Greg was always trying to get us to stop jamming, you know. So why do you have to have 2 guitar solos in there? Because we got 2 guitarists.
Yeah.
And they both lead guitar players, yeah. So, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get to play a solo, so sometimes we have 3. So, yeah, whatever.
You like the solo, Greg?
And you know, I'm not, I mean.
No.
This is Greg. It's what he loves. And, you know, you said I can cuss on here, you know.
Of course.
Music is completely opinionated. And this is a great one that Dwayne, from Dwayne too. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and everybody else's stinks. So you know, if you like that kind of stuff, fine.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You're doing what you like to do.
Exactly.
Okay, what more can you do?
And the bottom line is, like I say, I look around and what we were doing, especially back then, it's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I figured I'm going to put together a band that's going to do it.
Right. So tell me about this band you're bringing to Peach Fest.
Dickie wrote the song. It was our first instrumental after Dwayne died, and he had no title. And I came up with the idea, Le Brares. You know where Brares comes from. I mean, that's Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox, Uncle Remus.
Right.
And that's as southern as you can get.
Right.
And so we didn't want to call it, I didn't want to call it The Brares, so I said, let's call it Le Brares.
Le Brares. Use
a French word for the, and the southern colloquialism for brothers.
Right.
Le Brares, the brothers. And so, anyway, we played last year at the Peach Festival. It's me and J-Mo, O'Teal, Mark Quinones, Jack Pearson, Bruce Katz, Lamar Williams Jr. is our singer, and Pat Bergeson is the other guitar player. And we're going to be playing at Wani, and we're already booked at Peach Festival.
What an amazing lineup.
And I can't say anything else yet.
Yet?
But
maybe we can hook up in a few weeks. You can tell me. Maybe I'll call you.
You know?
Me, you know?
Maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. You know?
That kind of feeds into, I was going to ask.
But I can tell you this. I'm 99 and 100% sure that I'm going to be in 2 bands pretty soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
And that's the other one. And then we can start trying to work out the scheduling, because it's crazy.
Yeah.
We're already having problems. You know,
tell me about playing with your son, Valor, and tell me about your whole your family legacy now. I mean, your son and your daughter were singing with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
What an amazing...
I had no idea. And she asked me if she could do Statesboro Blues. She killed it.
Yeah, she did. I saw the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my other son playing the other drums. So I had 3 of my 4 children on stage with me.
And how's that feel?
It was great. I mean, are you kidding?
I have no idea what that feels like.
Are you kidding? I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I was so proud of him. And I mean, Valor, I mean, you've heard him play. I mean, good gracious.
Yeah. He must be a proud father.
He is so amazing.
Yeah.
I just sometimes wish he'd slow down, but, you know.
Butch, I want to really thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You've given me a
You're quite welcome. This was fun.
It was fun, and I would sit here for hours with you, but you got to eat dinner, and you have a show to do.
Yeah, I do, and it's an early show tonight, so
yeah.
yeah.
So again, I thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.